Okay, number two. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We just got Clara. She is the founder of List Perfectly in Thrift Babes. I already thought she was in Thrift Babes, but she wasn't in Thrift Babes yet. They've been in Thrift Babes as List Perfectly, the page. So a page cannot go live, unfortunately. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're tuning in, I'm going to personally wave at you. Nad, I see you're watching. Thank you. Please comment below whether you're watching live or watching the replay. I want to hear from you because I have not gone live in Thrift Babes for a long time. These actually used to be interviews that happened each and every week. And it was so much fun because we were able to meet different people each and every week. But now all of those interviews are happening over in Thrift Boss Babes. But I wanted to bring List Perfectly to you tonight because List Perfectly is a software that I really think you guys can benefit from. And I didn't want to hold it back from you. I was so lucky to meet the founders of this software. So let's back up. List Perfectly is a software. It's a monthly subscription that you can use to list at multiple platforms at the same time. So that's Etsy, that's Depop, that's eBay. I mean, the founders are going to tell us all about it. I don't want to spill all of their secrets, but this was a need in the marketplace, and guys, they fulfilled the need. They have been resellers themselves for a very long time. They're going to share more about their journey. And they realized, like, in order to make more money, to save time, to scale their business, there had to be a way to post on the same platform, or I'm sorry, to post the same item on different platforms at the same time. But there was no technology that served that purpose, and they were the ones who created it. So we are just waiting for Clara to be watching this live so that I can add her to the live and we can get this interview started. I know that I already shared my outfit with our last live, so I don't want to bore you guys, but I am wearing this amazing vintage 1960s dress. I've had it for a really long time. This is back from the days I used to be a seller. I remember I got this from someone's closet. I had a closet clean out appointment, and it was, you know, I actually value it more now than I did back then because I was basically buying so much vintage that it all looked the same to me. And now every time I put on this dress, I'm like, I'm so glad I still have this dress. It's amazing. Okay, so we are still waiting on Clara. And I hope that oh wait, she is here. Okay, Clara, you've been here. Let me see. Okay, so guys, we're going to add Clara, and she's going to be speaking to Amanda. Okay, she's here. All right, we are crossing our fingers that the thrift gods are on our side. We did it, guys. I see you.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Oh, we did it. Like, let's be excited. We did it. We didn't do it the first time. There's so many things that go into a Facebook Live. People don't realize, like, you guys got my email, right? Like, boom, boom, boom. And then still sometimes things happen. Like, you just have to communicate with the thrift gods and the tech gods. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Where are we speaking to you from? Where are you right now?
We're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Amazing.
Go Phoenix.
Go Phoenix.
Amazing. Amazing. So I was just talking a lot about you. I'm just going to back up and recap because we do have more people tuning in live. And if they're watching live, I want them to know a little bit more about you and List Perfectly before we jump right into this interview. So List Perfectly, guys, is a platform that I recently discovered. It is a software that enables you to post the same item for sale on multiple platforms. This is something that should have existed a long time ago, and Amanda and Clara realized it, and I'm not going to speak for you guys. I want you to share your journey and the trials and just everything you had to go through to make this, you know, this solution to a problem a reality. But guys, we're gonna. They're laughing because they're like, God, we need like 3 hours to talk about that, right? So, but what's so exciting about this interview, guys, is you're meeting some really okay. So these are founders. in a tech in the tech industry, but from a resale point of view. They have been resellers for a number of years. We're going to talk to them about that. And they're really doing something for the community. They're really doing something that is going to help all of us who are resellers make more money, save time, and scale our businesses. So if you have not heard of List Perfectly, I want you to tune in. I want you to go visit that site and check out their software right now tonight, so that you can give it a whirl. But ladies, let's hand the mic over to you. I want to hear how you met. And there's a lot to this story because we had a little chat. But how do you guys know each other?
Would you like to share, Clara?
It was socially. So literally, it was a social event, and I just happened to start talking to Amanda, and we just start talking. And I was very curious at that time. I was working in banking, and I was very curious because she mentioned to me she was an eBay seller, and I had no idea of e-commerce. We're talking about 10 years ago, right? And I'm talking to someone.
So you met 10 years ago. 10 years
ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes. And 10 years ago, e-commerce and being an eBay seller was something risky and ballsy, and it took a lot of guts. And I like that about Amanda, and she had the system figured it out. And I was just very attracted. I was in between jobs, and I decided to start working for Amanda to data entry.
Yep.
And I started to do the listings.
That is incredible.
And at that time, I had already been selling for 5 years.
Wow.
And I was doing vintage clothing. Yeah.
You were doing vintage?
Oh. Yeah. So we've been selling under the name The Clothing Vault for years.
Okay.
And I love vintage clothing. That's my journey. That's our foundation. And you guys know how difficult clothing is to sell online. There's just so many points that you have to get across. The picture doesn't tell you everything. If it's an item that's been washed, the measurements are not going to be the same as when it was first made. There's just so many variables. And so we really needed software if we wanted to take our business to the next level. So that's what we did.
And so, so basically I'm going to recap. I'm a great recapper in interviews. So you've known each other 10 years. First of all, that's huge. That's amazing. You've been friends for 10 years.
Yes.
And so Clara, you've been in the industry for 10 years working with Amanda, and Amanda, you've been in the industry for 15 years. So that means that you started in 2003.
Yes, nailed it.
Wow. So I remember 2003, because I think I was 16 when I started selling on eBay, and that would have been 2001. And I remember.
Congratulations. Good for you.
I sold stuff like international. Like it was bizarre. My parents had to help me, but I would buy like Abercrombie and Fitch and wear it and then put it on. And then I had vintage prom dresses and I sold both of them on eBay, which obviously I regret because one of them was a 1920s dress. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I was 17. I think I got like $60 for it or something. But anyway, so I remember how like clunky it was, and also like you couldn't even like trust if you were gonna get what you bought for. So you've totally been through it all. So I want to hear though, because this is really about also your journey as entrepreneurs, like Take Two, because you have Take One, which was your online resale business, and now you are literally leveling up to like sky's the limit with a tech product. So like how did List Perfectly come about? Did you just like go to San Francisco where like Silicon Valley is? What's the story?
So go ahead, Clara.
Well,
and spill all
what started everything, I guess. What gave us it was necessity. Necessity is just true necessity and desperation, because I was 5 years ago, I started to have some spine problems, some back problems, and I didn't know what was happening, and that affected my data entry and everything that I was doing for our business. So it was challenging, and instead of dwelling on it with Amanda, she decided to take it upon herself and say, you know what, we should be redoing e-commerce in a different way. And there was no tool. We tried for hours. We tested for days, months, and years, tools,
Multiple tools.
hours
Yeah.
endlessly with tech support. We couldn't afford it, or didn't work, or it was just so many things 5 years ago. And that's when she decided to take it upon herself.
Yeah.
I started to resell more, so she took online classes and started teaching herself coding and everything about tech.
Yeah, and at
She's
first,
a history major. She's a Marine. I'm a lawyer. I'm a banker.
Oh my gosh. You taught yourself code, Amanda?
yeah, well, at first I thought that I would be able to actually like hire somebody to create this for us. First, we wanted to build our online web shop, and that didn't work out very well. So I won't bore you with the details, but
It's okay.
it was, yeah, I mean, at that time, I think a lot of entrepreneurs go through this journey where they want to open an online store. They try to hire for it, and they don't get anything close to what they needed.
Yeah.
And that happened to us, and I was like, this is just horrible. This is not the way e-commerce should be done. So yeah, I literally like sat there 5 years ago on YouTube. I watched videos. I figured out how to do it myself, and from there we just kept building.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you, Amanda, basically started List Perfectly. Like you coded it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So, because I have, a little bit of a background in this world, I'm assuming you've hired other people to help, or has it always been you? Are you the mastermind behind everything?
Yeah, it's been me the whole time. Like I said, we have gone through, yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point,
we tried many things, but I always it's at least perfectly is innovation. Okay,
Yeah.
It's thinking out of the box and thinking differently, and make it affordable and fast, right? So how could we do that on a budget? Because we're still bootstrapped. We didn't wanted to have any investors, so we could call the shots. We needed to be free. We needed to think out of the box, and that was crucial for us, and do it in our own timing and listening to our own audience. And that's what I think.
And quite honestly, we got tired of hearing, no, it's impossible, because that's what we kept being told over and over and over. No, it's impossible.
Whole year.
So for years, literally. And so finally, I was like, I know that I can make this work. I know I can figure this out. And so the real breakthrough came like a couple of years ago, and I've just been working really hard on it ever since. But we actually have been using the software in our own business for over 4 years. 4 years. It's just the version that we brought to the public has been in development for 2.
We have many versions. Anything you can imagine, we have built it. The challenge is, how do we put in the hands?
Yes.
Thousands of users that are
hundreds of thousands
that are using the tool more and more every day. It's not that you guys are using the tool less every day. They're using the tool more and more. So So keep that in mind. Is what is important for us in our goal.
Wow. Okay. So this is one of those questions I like to warn people. I'm like, the brains are, I'm sorry, the wheels in my brain start spinning, and I'm listening. And so I have questions. So you have used List Perfectly in your business for 4 years. So how did that help your business to grow? Or back to what Clara was saying, because you've had some medical conditions, how did it help relieve that for you?
Well, it was day and night, literally. It's interesting because I see happening the same phenomena I had with this tool almost 5 years ago. It becomes almost like a codependency relationship, because you can't imagine, working without it anymore, copying and pasting and having like 9 different software tools open. to list one product. It's just not fair. It shouldn't be like that, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was day and night having arthritis. It was just, for me, I could do other things, you know. It allowed me to keep sourcing, so Amanda could keep taking more classes, okay, and she could keep.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So you're the
It was like
thrifter of the duo.
Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
eventually I had to take up on the roles everything that Amanda had designed, you know. Before was Studio 217,
Yeah.
before the Clothing Vault. So I had to take on off those roles so she could be the tech one in this partnership that we
Yeah.
have. And
Yeah.
I do more like the user experience, user interface, and that part.
But one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize that yes, we built the cross listing tool and that is a huge help. But the part that most people don't realize is that we built a whole listing system.
Yeah.
And we did this this is what we've been using in our own business for years.
Right.
So
Right.
when you list an item, we actually create a method for you to come on our site and create your templates and your listing. We have different versions. Like we have a really simplified version where literally with one click of a drop down, you can fill out 90% of your details and then just update things. If you list things repeatedly, it's going to cut your listing time down by 75%.
And the keystrokes, what's more important for me is the least amount of keystrokes that I can do. That's why sometimes we just sit down and we say, no hands, look at List Perfectly doing it for you. So that's the idea.
List Perfectly, no hands. That should be your tagline.
No hands.
Yeah.
And you know, there's actually a Thrift Boss babe watching this. She's a personal friend. She's been in the industry for 7 years. Michelle, I'm going to shout out to you. She has arthritis. I know it comes and goes, Michelle, but I'm thinking for you. I'm like, you need List Perfectly in your business. She runs a consignment store and then she also sells online. So she's double timing everything. And so I'm not BSing when I say this software is going to turn people's businesses. I mean, yes, we have a lot of 6-figure resellers. Okay. But it's like you said, it's like down to the system. It's, you know, okay, today I'm committed to 100 listings. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on yourself. What I hear from you is that this software is able to lift off a lot of the pressure and give people a life again, or at least say, hey, instead of 50 hours a week, I'm actually going to now be doing 35, but making the same amount of money. And that's huge. I mean,
that's how I did it. That's at that time when we came up with it, you know, and we were with eBay only on our website. We were struggling with 2 channels. Imagine, I was struggling. I couldn't imagine at that time. And then she built the integration between the website and eBay. And we're talking about, you know, this was like 4 years ago. And then she launches right away. We go to Etsy, right? And this was the sales. I cannot even explain. It was day and night. So I could do in 2 hours. In 2 hours a day, I could do what I was doing in 8 to 9 hours. So that allowed me to start sourcing more. And when you source more and your listing process is shorter, you can the sales accelerate. And when the sales accelerate, you change from that survival mode that you're thinking, oh, how am I going to sell this, from, oh my God, I got to go sourcing. This is selling way too fast. I need more. So it becomes, so
sorry, my nails are terrible, guys. Don't judge. But
so that's what it was for me, was a day and night change. And that's when I was like, no, I'm gonna sell everything I have. I'm gonna do everything it takes to make sure that List Perfectly gets on the hands of other people, because it changed my life. And I knew it was like literally, Sammy, it was like literally, it's just, I cannot even explain you my quality of life. I could have more, I was able to visit family, have more family time, you know, and not worry so much about bills and stuff like that. So e-commerce for me has been a liberating experience, and also gave me the chance to decide if I wanted to go back to banking, which I like very much.
Mm-hmm.
But I had choices. Now I'm like, oh, do you want to go back to banking or do you want to
Wow.
continue doing commerce? Do you want to do both?
It becomes a part-time choice.
It doesn't become a job anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we get into resale, because it
It's fun.
doesn't sell itself as a job, but if you want to scale, have a 6-figure income, it becomes a job. Like I said, it becomes, okay, from 9 to 12, I do this. And from 12 to 3, I do that. And then you're just like, oh my God, never again.
Oh.
So back to List Perfectly, just in general, what I heard you say is that there's like a tool here, a tool there, blah, 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 blah. Is there anything that compares to List Perfectly on the marketplace?
No.
Wow.
No. I think what people are starting to see is there are some copycats, honestly, coming out. But the thing is that they won't come close to our system, because we always set out to create something that anyone from 6 years old to 90 years old can get started with right away. The other important thing that we factored in when we created the software is it's really important for you to physically before sending it live. There are some platforms where you do the listing on their platform and you click a button and then it's live, but you have no idea what it looks like. So if you go over and check on things, there could be some things that aren't quite right.
Yeah.
Things that look weird, pictures out of order. I mean, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong. And the last thing any seller needs is to be hit with an item not as described case, or something that goes wrong. So we always said this is a very important factor. So with our system, you send the details, you review them before ever clicking live on that item. Yes. And then third thing is that we can take advantage of sell similar and copy listings. So your data entry just goes down by at least 50%. Like for example, if you're listing something to eBay and you find someone else created pretty much the same exact listing and filled out all those attributes, which takes forever, you can just sell similar on their listing, click a button with List Perfectly, and just have it push over the important details that are pertinent to you.
I know what you're referencing. So when you guys go to an eBay landing page for an item, you can click a button that says sell something similar to this. So that's going to somehow fire into List Perfectly. Wow, my mind is blown.
Yeah, and that's every single thing that we've built into our system is all about trying to save you time listing.
Yeah. Okay, so one of my Thrift Boss Babes, which is our sister membership community for resellers for education, it's a Facebook marketplace, inspiration, motivation community, because, like you were saying, Clara, sometimes it's sitting at home on your computer for hours. We need community because we're working for ourselves. So anyway, she is the first person I know officially to use List Perfectly. And so she said that what she's been able to do, because she hasn't fully used it, but she said she was able to duplicate one of her existing listings into another platform. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did I hear her say? And she was so excited. And we'll send you the screenshot of what she said.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so guys, I have officially signed up. I haven't been able to play with it yet. But I am so excited because I have an Insta shop and I casually sell on eBay. Like that's pretty much the extent of what I do. Cause I'm such an in-person seller. I used to run a store, blah, 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 blah. But I can see how this, even if you're just guys like, hey, I just want to make another $500 a month, but you want to move things quickly. So imagine posting on 4 or 5 platforms versus one. And the other thing I just want to interject with, and I'm feeling from a business point of view, what's great about being able to list on multiple platforms is you're going to be able to see your stats as to what sells faster. So let's say oh my gosh, I don't know, this brand keeps selling so fast. Because it's on 5 different platforms, you're like, whoa, that sold in a day. So I need to go get more of that brand, because this is my evidence right here that it's leaving my home and entering another person's home. So I'm just basically bragging about you guys for you, but I want to hear some more examples. First of all, how long have you guys been live? And then what have your users been telling you So please brag about yourselves, about the benefits of List Perfectly for them and their business.
Please go ahead.
Well, I guess one that I really, really, really touched my heart was, and it was a dream come true for me, meant everything. And I knew that that's it, is when we had a thread in our group, on our Facebook group.
Yes.
And all of our senior users were
Oh.
explaining how easy it is to cross post and list with our service. And that was for me mind changing, that they were like, I'm a 73-year-old and I'm selling, I can't stop selling. And it was just, and then they started to open 73, 76, and then they started to, there was like a tug of war between them, who was older, I said, and that for me was just, that for me was life changing. And I'm so grateful for that. We have such a beautiful community.
Yeah.
That was for me and for you, Amanda.
Gosh, I mean, so many things, but I think when people start to give you suggestions, that means a lot. When they're using it so much that they're telling you, if it had this feature, oh my gosh, I would love it. That would save me so much time. And the fact that people take the time to reach out to us, let us know what they need, like and we're very open to them. That's one of the things that we're very proud of, is that we started just a couple of months ago, believe it or not. I think we're coming on like 2.5 months when we really went live. And it was like an overnight. So cool. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because we actually had a prototype ready early this year that we were testing and testing and testing. And at first, it seemed so out of left field to most sellers, like, no, that's impossible. No, you can't really do that. So initially it was kind of like but then literally overnight everything changed in August. But we actually technically launched probably in like April or thereabouts
of 2019.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a fireball because one of my Thrift Boss babes brought it up to me, and then our mutual colleague Alex brought it up to me. So but like before we both know it, you'll be on the Today Show or something. So I think if you guys are tuning in to the live or this replay, just know that this is a privilege that you are meeting these women. It's almost as if you're meeting the founders of Etsy or eBay, which were both men, but whatever, at the very beginning when it was being built out of their garage or what have you, which is basically your story. I know maybe you weren't in a garage, Amanda, coding, but it's a similar, just,
very similar
from the bottom, right? So can you, and I wish that we had like screen sharing capability, but since you guys know that I'm now a user of List Perfectly, I'll be creating some more content to share my screen with you so you can see how the interface looks. But can you just describe to us, like, how does it work? What does the interface look like? It's obviously easy, but is there a way that you can explain that to us?
Yeah. So based on, everyone's feedback, like we've been, adding features and changing things. And so let's say, for example, you already have your listings on eBay and you want to cross post them to Poshmark. Well, we created an express button for that. So when we first started, you'd have to copy into our platform first, and then you could adjust the details and then cross post, which you can still do now. That is a feature. But now we also give you a second option. You click a button, we call it the Express Cross Poster. You choose where you want it to go, and all of a sudden a listing window on that platform opens up. There's like a couple of fields that you have to fill in, but it takes seconds. Like you can cross post every item in like 45 seconds or less. It's so
and the user decides if they want to the other, depending if they want inventory management capacity or not with us. You decide to save your listing with us or not. You don't have to save it. You want to just bypass us and cross post directly into another marketplace we support, you do that. And then if you want to download it, you would do that.
Yep. And then beyond the cross posting, because I know that's what everyone's excited about. But if you were to create your listings on List Perfectly, it's very simple. We actually have two methods of creating listings, and one is for a very basic templating system where you create your own templates. They're in your shop language. They say exactly what you want to say. We're not telling you how to create your descriptions or your products. We're just giving you the tools. So there's like a little setup that you go through. You set it up so that your verbiage is in there. And then with a drop down, you
Oh,
apply it.
wait. When she
Uh,
says a setup, don't get scared.
oh,
Okay,
yeah,
there is no
there's no
code.
setup. No.
There is no
Good.
code.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no
Mm-mm.
programming
just
required. No macros. No nothing.
No.
it's just
All you
fields.
have to do is it asks you. The way we work is by asking you. We ask you questions on a field, and then you just put your answer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
our secret.
And I mean, the setup could actually be as simple as import one of your listings into List Perfectly, click a button, and create a template from it,
Done.
and then you're done. That's it.
How cool is that to make a
Yeah.
template of an existing listing that you maybe posted 2
Before.
years ago on eBay, okay? And now we're able to import it from eBay to List Perfectly, and one click, you create a template from that. It's like a photocopy.
Yeah.
It makes me really excited.
Yeah.
Like it's just really exciting
We
software.
believe on it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can tell. And okay, so back to the beginning, right? And guys, if you see me looking over here, it's because I have the best questions to ask these ladies, and I don't want to forget any of them.
Exactly.
So now I know, because of Amanda, that you officially launched April 2019. However, things really started to snowball in August. How are you promoting? Is this all word of mouth?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
That's so awesome.
Yes.
So
Yes,
awesome.
You can
100%.
see on Instagram and Facebook, and you can, that's public information now. You can see how much we spent on advertising, and it's less than $10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
So
wait
yes,
till
we're
you
firm
start
about
spending money.
sustainability and organic.
Yes.
So we're very
Yes.
firm and adamant about that.
Yes. Wow. Okay. And then you are female founders. And so now that I know more about your story and just the fact that basically you did it yourself, I'm curious though. I'm curious because there's probably some goals for the future, intentions. I heard you loud and clear, even though I basically blew up your intention. You said, we want this to get into the hands of thousands of resellers. And I said hundreds of thousands. So I'm thinking even bigger. Even bigger, but like, have you had any challenges as female founders of this platform, or do you do you perceive any? And just like, what advice do you have to women in business, since you collectively have 15 years of business experience between you?
Yeah, I think it's an unfortunate reality that unfortunately people they judge a book by its cover a lot of times. And I think that's life. I think the important thing is to not dwell on it and not see it as an obstacle.
Yeah.
Just stay laser focused on your goal. And that's all we do. Just tune out the noise. Don't listen to what.
Don't give up.
No.
Follow your dreams. They're going to tell you, no, it's not possible. No, it can't be done. No, it's going to take too much money. It's going to take too much time. You will never complete it. Okay. You'll run out of money, or I don't know, your family will not love you, or anything. Just don't quit your dreams.
No.
Okay. If you don't work hard for your dreams, nobody else will. And, just listen. Just listen to whoever you're trying to help. That's it.
Yeah. Let the purpose drive you forward, and that's what we do every day.
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% agree with you. And it's really just about listening to that small, still voice that's from a place of joy, right?
Yes.
When it comes to pursuing whatever it is that sets your soul on fire. Not every person is destined to create List Perfectly. I think, Amanda, you're a unicorn, and I love you for that.
Thank you.
But we're all unicorns in our own way. So it's about that self-discovery, and then it really doesn't matter if there's, any difficulties or obstacles, because it's just about, hey, I believe in this. I love this. I'm having fun. So I'm going to jump over it. So we just had a really funny comment. I have to share.
Mhm.
Mary just said, can we invest in your company? So let us know
We
the
get that a
moment.
lot.
Yeah.
Let us know when we can invest in your stock. I'm
Another
going to
one.
be a shareholder, a huge
All right.
shareholder. Okay, so
Thank you.
speaking
Nice.
of investment, so I love being a thrift babe. And I know we all love being thrift babes, but it's funny because some of us can be really thrifty when it comes to
Okay.
our lives, right? We're like, oh, yeah, I don't want to spend money on this. I want to spend money on that. So, like, can you just kind of walk us through when someone has an objection to spending money
Yeah.
on List Perfectly? I just signed up, guys. It's only $30 a month, but I do realize that even $30 a month can be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yes.
it's going to be worth it. So walk us
Mhm.
through that.
No, and I agree. You know, if it's not gonna be, if List Perfectly is not gonna be used in the right way, it's not worth it just to
Yeah.
give away $30. But
Yeah.
just think of this, just one sale. You have 30 days.
Pay
It's a
for it.
monthly membership. All it takes is just one sale of
Mhm.
one listing that you've done, a cross-posting, just to pay for the whole monthly membership. And
Yeah.
then you have all that time to see what else you can do, okay, to grow your business. The intent of List Perfectly is to be a sales accelerator that helps you grow your business so you can get your time better managed with what your business needs
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing that I think a lot of resellers can fall into this kind of cycle, and I mean, we all start from somewhere, and heck, I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes you don't realize that the saying is true. Technology can help you get to that next level,
Yeah.
and so you do want to invest. The way I look at it is consider it an investment in your business. Now, if you're a hobby seller and you're only selling, 5 or 10 items a month,
Mm.
it's up to your business. But what I would say to people is that if consider every aspect of your business and consider your time as
Yes.
valuable. And if something saves you time, that's money right back in the bank. Even if it means you are enjoying your family time or you have more time for sourcing, that's more income in your pockets.
I love that. I love that. Time
Yeah.
is money. We just had a great question from Amy. She's a thrift boss babe. Amy's been crushing it. She asked, can we have different prices on the different platforms for the same item?
Yes, you can. So let's say you have, yeah, and that's the beauty of our system. It's because you have the flexibility when List Perfectly pushes those item details over to the platform, you are literally reviewing every aspect of that listing.
Oh, okay, okay,
And
okay.
then from there, you can make your adjustments. So I know some people like to have different prices on eBay and Etsy, and you absolutely can adjust that. That's not a problem at all.
Okay, so
So
now I'm
cool.
gonna share something with your audience, okay? Let's share something with your audience, okay? A way that I used to effectively manage traffic in between channels, okay? And I'm not sure if if the person that asked the question meant the question in this way or they meant it in a different, because it could be asked, if I'm listing, okay, do I have different fields inside of List Perfectly Listed?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, for different pricings in different marketplaces. I don't know if she asked it like that. Okay, so let's suppose that she did. Okay, all I can say is that imagine just managing the traffic by setting different pricing or different sales brackets in between channels. So that's the way you're going to drive the traffic in between your channels. Just adjust the sales. So you're always listing the same product at the same value, but different marketplaces have different fees,
Yeah,
etc. So
exactly.
just make sure, okay, the sales that you're doing eventually, they have a percentage which will compare,
Oh,
with
I
this.
see. I see. I get what you're saying. So
Yeah,
it's like so Poshmark will take 20. I'm just going to throw out numbers because I'm not 100% correct.
exactly.
Poshmark will take 20%. eBay will take, I'm just going to say 7.
Yes,
Depop will take 5, whatever. Okay. So
yes,
you want to sell an item, you want to profit $40, but
yep,
on all of those platforms, but it might have to be 50 on Poshmark to profit 40. It could be 45 on eBay to profit 40.
yes.
So it's giving you
Yeah.
that calculation right there in front of your
That
face.
percentage.
So you don't have to think about it so hard.
Yes, and you
That's what I say.
adjust that sales bracket. Remember, every marketplace allow you to establish a different bracket for every sales. So you adjust it, you know, depending on what your business needs for every marketplace. So you stay in budget with your margins, you know, how much you
Yes,
spend
with your
and so
margins.
forth,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's
Wow.
very important to grow your business. Keeping track of your margins is crucial. If you don't do this, you will not make it after a year.
I know. You'll be spending more than you're making.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. It becomes, you know, a show, you know, that you just want to show a PR, public relationships, you know.
Yep. Been there. You should see my taxes when I was 24. It's hilarious.
You were 24.
The amount,
Oh, wow.
the amount that I wrote off from Salvation Army is
Yeah.
insane. I have a place in heaven.
Yeah. Be giving your donations.
How much I have tithes. Anyway. So funny. Okay, we have another question. What are all the different what are all the different selling platforms you support?
All right. So we are on eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Tradesy,
Poshmark.
Poshmark, and then now we have Relove.
Yes. That's
Yay,
our
Relove!
Relove is woo! Our newest, and we're very happy about this. This
Yes.
is we've been refraining from making a public announcement
Yes.
because you know we're but yes, this week we're going to launch our Relove integration. We're very excited about it. They are totally aligned with our values.
Yes.
Another woman-owned and CEO of a startup, a company, and so we're very excited to have them as part of the List Perfectly family.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. Guys, now is the time. I've said this before. Maybe it was 2003, but I still think it's 2019. This is the gold mine rush of resale.
Yeah.
This is the time to establish yourself. This is the time to be using these tools. And it's incredible because it's growing so fast. So jump in now. So back to resale though, because you guys have been involved for 10 years. That's Clara's history, and then Amanda 15. Why do you think resale is so powerful? And I'm asking that as an open-ended question. I just want you to kind of speak from the heart. Why is resale powerful for you?
Because it allows you to have the dignity of choosing, okay, an honorable way of doing it, making a living and being your own boss. You get that choice. And I think that's what makes it so powerful.
Yeah. And the sustainability element is so powerful and compelling. You know, there's a really big problem. Most people don't realize that a lot of our donations, while we feel good about donating our excess stuff, a lot of them just end up getting dumped in the third world. And so by going out as a reseller and saving these items, literally you're shopping and the more that you take off of the rack at the Goodwill and Salvation Army and et cetera, the less that gets dumped on the third world. And
landfills, reducing landfills.
And reducing landfills. I mean, it's just there's so many positives of resale that, you know, it's a noble purpose.
It's a noble purpose. You know, it's a noble purpose, and that's a good thing. Yeah,
it is. It's not slinging secondhand clothes around. It's deep. It's full of financial opportunities if you go after it. And you put on the hat of a business person, like you said, or like I said, not spending more than you're making, recognizing your margins, obviously making mistakes along the way because we all make mistakes along the way. But yeah, just having that access to financial freedom. You know, when I talk to people about resale, I'm like, you know, like what's lacking in your life? Is savings lacking in your life? Is a vacation lacking in your life? Gosh, is health insurance lacking in your life? How could resale fill that void for you?
Wow.
It doesn't have to be $45,000 a year. It could be that extra 500 that is a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. That's not missing your credit card payments. That's a student loan payment. I mean, there's just so many ways. So when I share with people like, hey, I went to Buffalo and I made $90, I also remind them, what is that $90? Because I know it doesn't seem like a lot, right?
Yeah.
And like Buffalo,
Yeah.
you know, they'll pay me $6-7 an item, but a lot of times they're things from my closet, or I got it for $1, so there's still a nice little margin there. However,
Yes.
that $90 is a lot. If you look at it as that's my electric bill, that's my,
Yeah.
you know, for some people it is a car payment or close to a car payment. It's
Yeah.
so anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone can access the power of resale, whether as a
Yep.
shopper, a seller, or just someone who's, you know, using it to better the world beyond just themselves, if that's what attracts you to it. So, okay, cool. I'm seeing Mary's comment. Oh, Mary, thank you so much for commenting. We love you. Okay, so I know that we've gone over a few questions already because I always jump ahead. I want to talk about, you're both, again, so experienced. If you are speaking to someone about starting out in resale, what are some things you would advise them on? I did hear you talk about margins, but like maybe even a mistake that you guys made, or Amanda, that you made at the beginning.
Oh God. There's so many. So I think because there are so many mistakes that I made in the beginning, I would say,
well, thanks for sharing that, because that makes everyone feel better.
Oh yeah, I made so many mistakes. So I would say is, when you're getting started, allow yourself room to make mistakes, because they will happen. You know, you will have an unexpected chargeback. You will have something that gets return damaged. You will have something that you paid too much for. I mean, it's just, there's so many things. So allow yourself room to make those mistakes. And you know, over time and with experience, you'll get better and better and better. And the other thing that I would say is, don't discount international sales. Like they can make a huge part of your income. And so in that sense, sales and platforms will enable you to get an international audience. Like, for example, Poshmark, I think you pretty much have to keep your sales in the USA, but eBay, you can sell internationally. It's just you're opening the doors to the world. So yeah, what would you add to that? Or
that's amazing advice that I've done like a gazillion of these interviews, and I've never heard that. So thank you, Amanda.
Yeah.
No, well said. Definitely.
Clara, do you have any advice or just mistakes you made that
I would
you have
say
wisdom around?
No, definitely. I've always, I think I repeat myself a lot with this one. You know, I strongly recommend people I always, the biggest mistake I saw, and even I noticed this when I was in banking, right? People would come and, like, you know, loans is what we did, you know, all kind of those kind of transactions. So they would come and they always want to do a change that is very abrupt. I'm gonna quit my job tomorrow and I'm going into e-commerce. You see what I'm saying? And that usually it's something that worries me. So usually, you know, I recommend start something a little easier, you know, like Amanda said, you know, give yourself room for error and start like a hobby or start it like a part-time. But if you're going to put yourself full time to try to resell, kind of like cold turkey, please allow yourself room for mistakes and give yourself time and patience. You'll learn.
When I started selling, it was on the weekends, and I was working at a magazine during the week, so it was exhausting. But you know, again, you know, I was able to really, it was almost like I was going back to school for that year and a half that I eventually opened a storage unit that became my showroom.
Wow.
And a 24-hour storage facility here on the Upper East Side. It was like $250 or something a month, but I was able to invite stylists, musicians, creatives.
Wow.
My showroom, because I was like, I can't afford a brick and mortar. So anyway, but it was like just learning and taking those steps and growing with it. So But back to List Perfectly. So we just had a question. I'm not quite sure if we addressed it. Let me give her a shout out. Dawn, thank you, Dawn, for asking. How does List Perfectly work with the different platforms' fees? Is that a concern or does that not matter?
No, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. So you're actually submitting the platform on the platform itself. You're not submitting the listing through List Perfectly.
Okay.
We'll help you get your listings to those platforms, but yeah, you would basically just deal with their billing and
Great.
whatever they have set up. And they're very good about telling you how much everything is going to cost, if it's going to be free or if there's a fee involved is when it sells. So you can see all of that information before anything is submitted live.
Okay.
I could add that List Perfectly was built in a way that we help you with the process, like Amanda said, but once it gets to the marketplace, you can determine very well, where List Perfectly ends and, once you're in the marketplace, and you can see very well, the fees that could be charged for that listing, if whatever would be applicable. But that's a
Awesome.
very good question.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry, Amanda.
No, and it's a little off topic, but one thing that I wanted to share with your audience is, like, a lot of people have their favorite marketplaces that they like to sell on. Buyers actually have their favorite marketplaces that they like to buy on.
Yes.
And so you may never reach that buyer if you stay on one marketplace.
Yeah.
And even if there are fees involved, let's say that some marketplaces have listing fees like Etsy. I think it's like,
Yeah.
20 cents a listing for 4 months, but you might not ever have access to that particular buyer who loves Etsy if you are not on Etsy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I have been told before by women and men, but obviously a lot of women resell clothes because we're awesome. That it's about finding the right customer for the piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not always the right piece for every single person. It's the right customer. I think another
That's
great
very well what you said.
expression is, it's happy home. Like, where is its happy home? And yeah, and so anyway, back to List Perfectly. So Mary asked about, and I'm just, because we're getting so many questions, I'm like just shooting them over to you, which I love, because I think this is giving you guys maybe even some insights into like how people's brains work, because we're all like suspicious and curious. So Mary just asked, does List Perfectly take a fee on a per sale basis or just the monthly fee?
Only the monthly.
Let's talk about the fees. What are the levels and what do you get per level?
All right. So we offer 3 memberships for people to choose from. We have a simple plan, which is very basic. It's $29.
Yeah.
Thank you. That simple plan, like we say, is very basic. It's pretty much images and a title, okay?
And description.
And that allows you to cross-post, and templates unlimited. Then we have a business plan, okay? Our business plan is $49, okay? That in the business plan, we already are adding title, we're adding descriptions, we're adding more features that is not covered in the simple plan. And then we have a pro plan at $69. That's the one that we have with our bells and whistles. The one that the pro plan is more designed, and this is what I think that Amanda loves to explain. Okay, we designed the pro version. Okay, it's designed more for people that are going to start listing within the platform, within List Perfectly from scratch.
Yeah. And the thing about and I'll just say this really briefly, the pro plan is the reason we started List Perfectly. What we're doing, we actually, I used to go around giving talks about the power of compelling description and how it helps your sales. So as part of my talk, I have slides that show the actual research that went into what would make a buyer buy from you. And about 87% said it was the description. You can do all the work in the world to get people to look at your listing, but to get them to commit to buy is an entirely different sales proposition. So with this pro plan, we've designed the optimal listing description, and basically you fill out a few fields, and
so it's
we're
your
actually generating
formula.
Yeah, and we're generating it for you.
And that's also that pro version is what we designed to absolutely reduce and eliminate returns. So fashion, okay, that's why we stayed in vintage. We could have switched categories long time ago, but we stayed in vintage because it's the hardest product to resell, right? Something that is pre-owned, pre-loved, with flaws, right? You gotta describe it to perfection so it doesn't become a return. There is no size tags, and if there is a size tag, vintage sizes run smaller than modern ones, right? So because of that special challenge that we had as resellers is what allowed us to nail down what customers needed to the T on a readable listing. What did they want it to commit to a purchase and not return it?
Right.
That was
right. You're basically reducing the risk of a return or a customer who's not satisfied.
And building a relationship of the business that the user has with the buyer, because that buyer is thirsty, is hungry for information of your product and your business. So with List Perfectly, with a better description of the product, describing. The other day I was just reading someone that was using, there is the part on the pro version that we even allow you to do an introduction where you can explain, if this is going to go well with, it's going to match well with whatever outfit, or if it is a piece of furniture, what would be the accent, I don't know, ornaments that would go well with it. And that was incredible. It was really nice, and she was explaining me how much that accelerated her sales.
Yep.
I love it. And guys, I mean, my eyes are like constantly going larger, like I'm a cartoon character. I'm like, are you serious? Because basically what I'm hearing you guys say, and I love recapping, but when you use a description, guys, everyone who's watching, when you have the right description, when you can add in the extra verbiage that's going to sell a piece. So like when I would sell in person, I was speaking my description. Okay. I was like, I think, this will work with this or this, or do you have a job, or are you going to a wedding or whatever? And we would talk through the item. So, however, that takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And also remembering your formula and just keeping track of all the
Nailed it.
So what List Perfectly has created in their pro package is the ability to basically write a description without as much brain power as you would normally if you're just like, okay, this platform, this platform, this platform. And to also remember what the formula is, previous template, so you don't have to reinvent your wheel each and every time. So statistically, you're going to have a higher chance of selling your item because you have all of that there, which is so true. So like, as an eBay vintage buyer, and I'm sure I've had to have come across your brand before, but like American Archive, like they're huge. Okay.
Yeah.
They got it down. I mean, to some degree, they have it down to a T, and I really trust them. I've bought from them before, but I continue to trust them. I initially trusted them because the description is so thorough. I mean, the photos are so great. That's a whole other conversation, but like the description is there. Like I know that it's going to fit me. Like I've bought like jumpsuits from them, and I'm like, that could be a camel toe, but like I'm able to really, really absorb that information and make a decision without hesitation, which we all know if someone's looking at your item and they're hesitating, they're most likely not going to buy it because there's so many other choices and whatever things on the internet. So one of our viewers asked a really great question. She said, and this is Susan, and Susan's in Houston, and she wants to open a consignment store around plus size, which I think is genius. And there's not enough of that.
Yes,
that's great.
Yes.
It's a huge need.
Great idea.
Susan asks, if an item sells on one platform, will it automatically close out the listings on the other platforms?
No. That's a great question. And the short and sweet answer is no, but we are a new service, and every day we're thinking about how we can solve this problem. And this is a highly, highly needed piece in the industry right now.
But we have right now the
right now we basically keep, when you cross list with List Perfectly and you use our storage, our catalog for keeping track of your listings, we record where the location of where all of these listings have been listed, and we have a sold button. I'm going to be honest with you, it is still a beta feature, so we're not promoting it right now.
Yeah.
But
it's working.
It's
there and it's working.
Yeah, so you click sold and it ends everywhere. But we
Wow.
will keep, yeah.
It's semi-automatic. So to respond to your question, no, List Perfectly does not end your listings automatically in different platforms. But once the user knows that that product sold in one platform, you go to List Perfectly, sold, and we end it for you in different platforms.
And that's in beta now.
It's in beta. Yeah,
but
it's in beta.
Will
already working. It's already working. We're
just
what we're doing is fine tuning
So
right
cool.
now. But it's available, everybody. It works for eBay very well. For
it's
many
available.
Channels,
Okay.
Yes,
it's available.
It's already out there.
It's already out there. Okay.
Done.
Yeah, because beta in my mind means it's like still like in the background, but no.
Yeah.
You guys have access to that.
Techies.
So great.
No.
So,
when we say beta, keep in mind that this perfectly is our product is innovation. So constantly we're in beta, if you please, because we're the first ones to create these. We're always innovating. We've been the first ones to create these, to do it. So constantly we're testing things, and it's because of thanks to the community that we're able to
the fact
accomplish
that
this.
You're in the industry and you know the nooks and crannies of it. I mean, obviously there's a lot of great businesses out there that people started with a great idea. They weren't necessarily like involved in every aspect of that business. I'm trying to think of like an example. Like I'm trying to think of like, okay, so let's, for example, someone has an idea for a lawnmower, but they weren't a lawnmower company owner. I would rather buy a new lawnmower of the greatest innovation, and it's $1,200 from someone who owned a lawnmower company. And that's essentially who you guys are. You owned a resale company.
I'm a firm believer of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the product is gonna be clunky. It's gonna be designed from an outsider perspective. Okay, you need to actually be living off this software and paying bills. I made my living with this software for 5 years, and I was able to create 3 different companies of it. So
wow,
I know it works. So for me, you have to be able to pay your own bills with the software you created. It's a must.
Yeah. So I want to give all of our thrift babes out there the chance to learn more about you, to connect with List Perfectly. We have a few comments here of people who are like, I'm definitely going to check this out, which is so exciting. And if you guys are watching, this is not the first time you're going to hear about List Perfectly, because I'm officially an affiliate. So I want to really promote this. I do not partner with a lot of brands. I mean, obviously I'm in the resale world, so there's a limited amount, but I've worked with eBay. I have a close relationship with the team. I only support things that I truly, truly, truly believe in. And List Perfectly is absolutely one of those things. So I want to hear from you guys. How can they participate in any of the community aspects? Because I know you guys have a Facebook group as well. How can they get involved with that?
Oh, please, let's get you involved. I really would like your valuable experience, with the thrifting community that you have over there in East Coast. Obviously, we're here, a little far away, but
thrift babes are international. This group is so international. But you guys have a Facebook group. Is it free to join, or do you have to have an account?
No, it's free.
Okay.
Just make it, just request, and we have a few questions. The important thing is that you're an online seller.
That's it.
And
or you want to become an online seller. That's it. No, you don't have to. Or you want to just be interested in e-commerce. You just want to resell? Yes, that's it.
Amazing. So those of you watching, I will be following up with like just some more detailed information. I didn't want to clog up this description with everything, but look up List Perfectly as a Facebook group if you're anxious to join, you can join. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for saying hi. And getting involved with List Perfectly, there is a free opportunity. Do you guys want to share more about that? How they can use it for free for it's 3 days,
Oh,
right?
Yes, I'm
yes.
sorry.
Yes, sorry. So,
Yeah.
well, just so you know, we offer a test. Because of our system is going to, when you sign up, it will charge your card. But if you decide that List Perfectly isn't working for you after 3 days or 20 cross postings, we give you all your money back, full refund. And no,
Money back guarantee.
yes,
We
complete money
we
back.
know that with 20 listings for 3 days is more than enough to.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I love that so much. And I don't even think you guys need the 3 free days, but
No, but
I
people need
understand
to test it. Yes,
Yeah.
they need to
some.
test it, and we're adamant about it. Make sure that it's going to help you grow,
Yes.
right?
Yes, yes. And also, I mean, I think what I heard you say that I want to say in response to someone saying that this might be too much of a fee for them, you have to be listing. I mean, this, like you said, if it's a 5 to 10 items per month hobby business, maybe this isn't right for you. But if you're really looking, and but you also don't have to be like fully in it. Oh my gosh, I'm sourcing 50 new items a week. It can just be, hey, I'm listing 10 items per week. And this is going to make you at least the money back that you spent, but most likely more. And the truth is, like, what we give our attention to grows. So you have to take the personal responsibility. I know myself included, I've purchased, like Audible, right? And I love Audible in the sense that they give me my free book every month, even if I'm not getting it that month. But not every software platform is like that. So if you're just not using it, like, that's really just on you. But if resale is something that you're passionate about, it's something you do on the side, it's part-time or it's full-time, I think List Perfectly is really the answer for everyone, unless you just want to work more. If you just want to work more, then I would just do it the old-fashioned way. But if you want to work less
Yeah.
and make the same amount of money or more money, that is essentially what you ladies are saying, and you have used it with your own business. This is not something that you just made in the last year and are now testing. You have literally been using it. Like, there's just, there's no hesitation, guys. So I want you to go visit List Perfectly and check it out. I am going to be sharing a lot more information about how to get involved. If you are looking to purchase the software under the Thrift Babes affiliate link. And I know that you ladies are available in the List Perfectly group. So if you guys go check out that group, and have any more additional questions, because I know some of you are asking some very specific questions. If I have more questions we didn't cover tonight, head over there, ask those questions, or scroll to see what other users are saying, because seeing is believing. So that's going to be the reality. Now, is there anything, I just really spoke a lot here, but is there anything that we didn't hit on that you ladies would like to share to finish this awesome interview that has just been incredible? Thank you.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you, Sammy.
thank you so much.
I just want to add this, that is we are dedicated for any seller that wants to grow. You can be hobby, part-time, anything, as long as you want to grow your business. That's my only recommendation.
Yeah. And I couldn't agree more. Just think about it like a tool, a tool to get you to the next level. And the other thing is that we're available. Every help desk ticket that you send us, every email, we're answering it. You're talking to us. And this is how much we love our product, how much we believe in it. We answer emails like right away.
We audit.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're always checking social media. We're auditing customer service tickets constantly, making sure we're exceeding expectations and listening to everybody. And if someone wasn't heard, or they feel that they weren't heard, we love to go and reach out. Hey, we've taken care of you.
Yeah.
And you can see that on the group.
You're not gonna be talking to some operator in a foreign country, and that's really important for us, because we believe.
Amazing, amazing. And I already said it, but I'm going to say it again. because I'm like Clara, and I repeat myself often, but it's because I really believe what I'm saying. You guys are really witnessing something at the ground level. Like, first of all, these are the founders. They are talking to you on the other side of the help ticket or the email or whatever, or on social media. We're friends on social media. This company is going to grow very quickly. So when you guys are joking, you're not joking. When you guys are saying, I truly believe that. When you guys are saying about, can we invest in your company? Like, yes, please let us know the day we can invest in your company.
Everybody's saying the same thing. Thank you.
Like you are just gonna. I'm so excited, and I can't wait for you ladies to be here in New York City, so I can take you to my favorite thrift stores.
Can't wait. Well, we're in.
And
you gotta come here. We also gotta do a West Coast.
I'm actually thinking, this is like very off conversation, but so last May, I forget if I told you, I toured Europe. So I thrifted Europe.
Yes, you did.
And sold on Relove. So I sold my whole collection on Relove. It was a huge
Wow.
success. I think I'm going to do the US in February.
Yes, you
and
should.
do events in major cities so I can meet more thrift babes in person. The only thing holding me back is the fact that I would have to do it by myself. I can get some Amtrak trains, which I love. I love Amtrak trains. Maybe buses, like the safe buses, but it's going to be more flights. And I just recognize how unsustainable that is. So I'm trying to figure out how I can be very conscious about a trip of this nature without taking 10 different flights in a month. Because that's obviously, so train, bus, maybe
keep us posted.
Maybe some thrift babes can drive me between cities. I don't know. I mean,